Hello and welcome to our very last Tuesdays with Annette show. That's right, we're coming to an end on Tuesday. Not Thursdays though, I'll always be there on Thursdays for you. But you know, back in April last year when we had all the COVID lockdown, I started this extra class and it was only going to be temporary. But here we are doing it still now. But I have lots of things on the pipeline to keep me busy at the moment, so I have to give it some room to create what I want. So Tuesdays is our last show today. Now the winners from last week's show, where I made the Pizza Supreme out of book 1, is Moira Arnold, Susan Johnson and Margaret Wilson. So well done girls, and there's a super prize. So you need to hang in because it's a super prize, hasn't been given away this year. So I want you to stay to the end to find out what that is. But the recipe that we're making today, look, I don't have a cookbook. Why? Because it's an unpublished recipe that is out of my mentoring program, which is still going, like it's just started on Monday. So if you're thinking, oh, I should have joined, please sign up this week. No problem at all. You just go to simplytoogood.com.au/membership, sign up and get started, and you'll enjoy some fantastic new recipes in there as well. So the recipe today is cheese and broccoli slice. Now, if you want to make it with me, I hope you've been to the website, simplytoogood.com.au, under recipes, and you've downloaded it because it's not in any cookbooks, okay? But before we get into it, you know what we're going to do on our last Tuesday with Annette? This is the habit we recreated because I loved cooking with you on this Tuesday show. We need to wash our hands for 20 seconds, keep up the hygiene, and I've thoroughly enjoyed doing Tuesdays with you. And if you want to know what's happening in Simply Too Good, sign up to my monthly newsletter because that's where all will be revealed soon. That's right. All right, so my hands are lovely and clean, and we've got this fabulous new recipe. Hello, it's just delicious. I love a slice, and so I could make 100 recipes for slices because I want to eat them all. But what you need for this recipe, for the props, for example, we need a fry pan, we need a chopping board, you need a measure jug, because you need 6 cups of broccoli. So I've got a 4 cup, which I use for a lot of things, so I'm just going to measure it that way. I've also got a bowl here to make up the milk sauce. I've got a quiche plate. You could use a pie plate if you wanted, but I've got that ready to go. I've got knives, I've got some scrapers. You need a whisk as well as some measure spoons, and then we can get cooking. So as I said, the broccoli is the key here, and broccoli is so good for you, and I'll tell you about it later. So I love broccoli. You could change it if you go, I don't like it, I prefer cauliflower. I'll just swap it for cauliflower, no big deal. We're going to use garlic, and I'm going to use the jar, so you know if you want to use it fresh, just chop it up yourself. We've got 4 eggs. We need 2 egg whites and 2 whole eggs. We want 3/4 cup of onion diced, a cup of grated low-fat cheese, and I've freshly grated that, so that's 100 grams if you wanted to weigh it. We've got cherry tomatoes because they go on the top of the slice, and you want 12. We've got a cup of skim milk, a 1/3 cup of the Kraft Parmesan. I like that one for this recipe, okay? So it's already grated. You need a bit of paprika, a bit of pepper. I've got my rice bran spray because I'm going to be cooking here. And you also will use 1 sachet of the spring vegetable cuppa soup, and that will build up the flavour. So it is vegetarian at the moment, but if you wanted to, you could replace it with adding bacon, okay? So I'll tell you about that as we go. But first of all, I've got to cut off that big chunk there of the broccoli, and you're going to get the florets. Now, as I said, we want 6 cups. So you get your broccoli out. Make sure you take off that little leaf. We don't want that little leaf there. I've got my little bin over here, and I'll tell you the size. You want it to be not too small because you want it to, you know, see the chunks in the slice. So let's put the broccoli there. I'm going to cut that in 3. And I said we want how many cups? 6, that's right. Oh my gosh, I've so enjoyed doing this show with everybody But it does take a lot of work, as you can imagine. We just have lots to do to prepare for each show. So the decision was made to free up time for me to keep doing the other things that I need to do. So I hope you've enjoyed Tuesdays with me, but please, Thursdays is just as much fun. So don't forget to put it in your diary. Tuesdays is gone after today, but Thursday will always be there for you. Okay, so we want, as I said, 6 cups. It's a lot of broccoli, but hello, it's the hero of the recipe. So you want to know, and you want to fill it with lots of broccoli. Now, a lot of times with a lot of the different slices, you're great, like my zucchini slice. You use lots of other vegetables. So there is 4. I just need 2 more cups. And so this is really an easier slice than most of the others because broccoli is so easy to prepare. All you're doing is just chopping it up, cutting the florets. I wonder if that looks like enough. Let's have a look. Thanks for joining me. If you've just tuned in, we're making cheese and broccoli slice. It's an unpublished recipe that if you want the recipe, you're going to have to go into the website and find it there, okay? It's not in any of my cookbooks. All right, there's 2 cups. Okay, so let's move that over there. Now what I'm going to do, it says to do the onion, but I'm going to actually just delay the onion a little bit because I don't want it to overcook, all right? So what we're going to do is going to start by doing the cooking spray. Be generous with it because we're going to fry the broccoli a little bit. It just gives it a bit of a roasty taste, and the rest of the time it will cook in the oven, which is preheated to 180 degrees already. All right, so garlic's in. Let me get my little thing. And in goes all the broccoli. I don't need that anymore. There we go. So while that's cooking for a bit, I'm just going to leave for a minute. Let's chop the onion. So get your onion out. We need 3/4 of a cup of diced onion, and I don't want it to be big chunks, so don't get too, like make sure they're sort of a reasonably fine onion so it mixes in really well. And the key here is that sharp knife with onion. I was cutting some onion before and I thought, oh, my knife's not cutting very well, and I just got my knife sharpener out, and look how beautiful it's working now. So don't forget to sharpen your knives because that really keeps them nice and workable. And a sharp knife is much safer than a blunt knife, that is for sure. So this is exciting to do a recipe that's new or newish, and it's, as I call it, unpublished. So that means that it's not in any cookbooks. My people on the mentoring program have enjoyed this for quite a while actually, so I thought, on the last show, let's maybe create a little bit of magic and do something a little different. All right, so we don't need this anymore. I'm going to bring this over, and now I'm going to just toss the broccoli. I find it easier to have 2 spoons to do this. And this is where I'm going to put the onion in, but let's do another spray first. All right, so let's get rid of that. So don't forget, oven's preheated, as I said, 180 degrees. So we've got in the pan so far, we've got the garlic. Now we've put in the onion, and I just want to brown it off a little bit because I find it really develops more flavour than putting raw into the mix. Oh, did I throw some away? No. Right, so let's move that to one side because we can multitask here, can't we? So just every now and then you want to lift that garlic, the onion, I'm sorry. See, I'm lifting the onion up so it doesn't burn too much. Might turn that down. And we're going to now make the filling that goes in here. So we need 2 egg whites. Thanks for being so loyal with me for such a long time. I know a lot of you have been watching the show since it first started, and I think we're 4 years in. So it's just been such a fun time for me each week to get in the kitchen, because you know this is my happy place. I love being in here. Mainly because I get something to eat at the end of it, and I do really love this. It's quite different from any of the slices in the other recipe books, and that's what you want with new recipes, don't you? You don't want them to be the same. 2 egg whites. Now put in the 2 whole eggs. I always do that first in case I accidentally drop the yolk in, and I can always save it. So 2 egg whites, 2 whole eggs. Right, now this is looking like it's done. Yep. Yeah. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to, let me just move this a little bit away. Get your broccoli. Now, before we do it though, I want you to spray your quiche dish. I'm going to go over to the sink so I don't make a mess. And we just now put the broccoli all over the base. And see how the onion's nice and brown? Just make sure you sort of spread the onion around a bit so everyone will get a little bit of the onion, which is terrific. That can go in my soapy sink. And that's off. So now just position your broccoli around so it fills up all the gaps. So it might have thought, like you'd have thought, oh, Annette, that's a lot of broccoli. But now when you look at it, it's perfect, isn't it? I wouldn't mind another bit over here, actually. There we go. So there's the broccoli done. I'm just going to put that over there. And now let's make this. So what you do is you get your whisk, beat the eggs up, and once that's combined, you know, when the eggs are mixed, we're going to add in the cup of skim milk. Now, if you haven't got the recipe, I'll just repeat it again. It's on the website. If you go into simply2good.com.au under recipes. Now, in goes the milk. So it's so easy to make, isn't it? All you do is chop up some onion and some broccoli and then mix it all up. In it goes. Okay, that's looking great. So what you'll put in now is a third a cup of the parmesan, some cracked pepper, yep, and the soup. Now this is an interesting slice really, because what you do is before we put this over, we're going to spread the cheese. So you're getting that real kick of cheese when you're eating it. It's just laying on top of the broccoli. Now that's everything that goes in there. Put that little bit of milk back in. So here we go. There is your broccoli. Now we get that cheese and just put it over the top of the broccoli, okay? Not we're going to put the milk mix in a minute. So just spread it out. So you can see how amazing this unpublished recipe is that I'm sharing with you today. Very different to the other slices, which is what I love to do. And now the cherry tomatoes. And how I do the cherry tomatoes is I look at it like a clock. So I go 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then 2 go in the middle. Because everyone, this is enough for 6. I'm going to push them down in a minute. But you get 2 cherry tomatoes for each serve. So just push them in a little bit. That's it. So your slice is looking a bit fabulous. Let's get the scraper. So this is your lovely sort of egg mix. And let's just pour that over. There you go. I just think you can't get any easier than this. And you know what's even easier? Eating it. It's delicious. Please try it. And you know, as I said, you can put bacon with it. If you really go, oh no, I have to have meat. I love vegetarian food. So I just move it around a bit so the egg can just spread. And now I just get that little bit of paprika, about 1/4 teaspoon. I mean, I can guess that on my hand right now. And just, it is optional, you don't have to do it, but I just like the look. Don't do cayenne pepper. I remember a friend of mine did something at one time and grabbed the wrong one, and it didn't look that good because it was so hot. She nearly burnt her mouth off. She might do a little bit more. It just gives the finished look to it. So it's not pasty or anything. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to open the door. Let's watch my microphone here. Don't need to cover it or anything. Let's just bung it in the oven, 180 degrees, in the center. You're going to do it for 35 minutes. Or until it feels firm in the center. You'll know because it'll look really golden brown and gorgeous. I mean, maybe turn a little bit. My oven gets a bit hot on one side, so sometimes I do that. But just the fact that broccoli is so good for you, like it's a really good source of fiber and protein. It contains like loads of iron, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, which we need in these busy lifestyles that we have. And it even has like the vitamins A, C, E, K, and even a bit of vitamin B, and including folic acid. So that's just a little bit of a bonus on broccoli. All right, so now let me clean this up. I hope you kept up with me and your slice is in the oven. Now, because you know, there's not a picture of it in the book, I actually made one. And here it is. So I made one ahead because I just thought that way you can see. Look at this. This is it cooked. Beautiful and brown and gorgeous it goes. I mean, if you hate tomatoes, don't put them on. But I love the look. I think it just blends in really well. So there is the cooked version. Here's my lunch. I'm having a late lunch on Tuesday because I didn't get to it. And there it is with my salad ready to go. And I'm excited. Now, the fat count is 8.1. And if you make it with the bacon, which is 100 grams of the bacon shortcuts lean, diced, cook it first, take it out, and then sprinkle it over when you're doing the, after you've done the broccoli. Just sprinkle the bacon over so you know everyone gets a bit. And it is just a really delicious way to enjoy it with the bacon. Now, I mean, when you think about the recipes we've made here on Tuesday, we've made a lot of recipes because we did it all last year. I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy doing it the Annette way? Now, Thursday, I'll be back. So don't forget to put your alarm on because I'll be there 2 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be cooking for you a great recipe that I think is a good lunch thing as well. So in winter, you know, you maybe just don't want to have sandwiches. It's the creamy tuna bake and it's in book 4. It's also in cooking for 1 or 2. So you can choose whether you want to make a big batch or a smaller batch. Now, what's the prize? Well, I thought for the last show, let's do a box of shakes. That's right. I mean, these are my deliciously fabulous breakfast shakes, which you can have as a snack in the afternoon or a light lunch or dinner. But what is so great about this is that you can win a box. All you have to do is like, share, and then write a comment in the comments, and I'll pick 3 fantastic people. Now, let's just open the box up and have a look in, because They're in single serves. If you're curious, you can actually buy all the flavours as single sachets, as taste testers, or samples as Bill wants to call it. So what flavours do we have? We've got the creamy vanilla, we've got the wicked chocolate, the iced coffee, and recently added is the dairy-free vanilla. I love that one so much. And so all you have to do is like, share, write a comment. 14 sachets a box. You also get a 14-day weight loss menu plan because I want to show you how to use shakes properly. And you know, the other good thing, of course, is that they keep you full. I love these shakes because I have it in the morning. I don't even think about it. Well, I haven't even had lunch yet. And it's because there's so much fiber. 7 grams of fiber, 15 grams of protein. Put it together, you are going to be a less hungry person. And that's a good thing when you're on a weight loss plan. So just add water and go, boom. So look, there's your prize. Thursday, tuna bake, so get ready for that with the pasta. It's fabulous. And so look, thank you so much for being with me on Tuesdays. I've really enjoyed being with you all and the comments and the love that you've all given us. So remember to follow me Thursdays, and if you want to find out what I've got planned, why I had to give up Tuesdays, then make sure you sign up to my monthly free newsletter because it'll all be told there. Anyway, my lunch is ready. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye now.